Female is a pillar.
Can all the candidates please stand up and introduce themselves by name and party?
Alright. I'm David Socialism Hollingsworth. Oh, a squelch.
My name is Talia Hezzy. I'm from the Defend Affirmative Action Party running for AAVP.
My name is Isaac Miller. I'm running for Academic Affairs Vice President with CalSTRS, Cal Student Equal Rights and Valid Education.
Hello everybody, my name is John Tran. I'm running for Academic Affairs Vice President with Student Action, United Greek, and Apple Engineering.
Yeah! Can everyone please hold your applause until all of the speakers have gone for each question? All of them. Okay. For the first question, we have 2 questions for Academic Affairs Vice President, and you all have 2 minutes to respond. The first question is, during the spring semester, we have seen major cuts to the arts and PE departments, as well as a major restructuring of IAS due to budget cuts. Over the next year, it's likely that these budget cuts will only get worse. In some respects, the cuts are inevitable, but how would you use your position to make sure they are made in a fair and transparent way and students' interests are protected? Again, during the spring semester, we have seen major cuts to the arts and PE departments, as well as a major restructuring of IAS due to budget cuts. Over the next year, it's likely that the budget cuts will only get worse. In some respects, the cuts are inevitable, but how would you use your position to make sure they are made in a fair and transparent way and students' interests are protected? The order for the first question is Isaac, David, Talia, and then John.
So first of all, I would like to say that yes, to some extent these budget cuts are inevitable. There is a $70 million shortfall in the budget this year for UC Berkeley, up from $40 million from last year, and the economic situation does not look to be getting better. So that said, we need to learn how to work with these budget cuts to make the process equitable. And I think the biggest, misconception is that equitable does not mean across the board. That cutting a flat percentage from all departments hurts smaller departments. This is something that we're seeing with the East Asian Languages departments when there's a proposed 50% cut to Japanese studies and a proposed 30% cut to Korean studies. It's really important that we note that these different departments have different needs. And so first of all, as Academic Affairs Vice President, I would go to the different academic communities on this campus to hold town hall discussions, to talk to students and faculty, undergraduate and graduate, to make sure that all stakeholders in these problems are at the table. Because we know that, if you got 20 people around the table and asked, what should we cut first? There's going to be 20 different opinions. So we need to find what can we come together on. What are the things that we can all agree are not necessary. And I think that something that we need to really be looking at is executive pay and looking at the proliferation of administrative positions in California Hall. If you read, there's an SF Chronicle article that came out last Wednesday which talks about the way that though the UC Regents have frozen fee increases or pay increases for top administration, they have created an exception where on a case-by-case basis they can increase stipends, they can increase sabbaticals, and on a case-by-case basis waste student money. So I think it's really important to see that at UC Berkeley, the exception has become the rule, as quoted in this article. So all of these exceptions are made for administrators, but they're not made for the IAS department, which is one of the most efficient units on campus for money per student, and also in terms of how much money it's raising. It is the flagship IAS program of the UC system, and you need to support it.
Next speaker, David.
I forgot the question, but I think we all know the real problem here is partisanship, which is, so I think I figured out the correct way to deal with that. It's a truly American way by representing myself as 2 diametrically, essentially opposite political philosophies. For AAVP, I will be running under a socialist platform, and I'm also running for Senate under an objectivist platform. And based on how many votes I get, I guess I'm going to try to find a nice middle point between the 2. So, for the most part, I'm going to create a huge, grand bureaucracy where everybody can discuss the superiority of their strength of will. And, things like I'll create a public housing thing maybe for students using the budget. and then destroy it, and then have a 90-page speech to a courtroom morally justifying it. Oh, thank you, Minute View. You're quite handy. You know, for the most part, I only have like a couple things to say of you know, just workers of the world. You know, fuck you. Thank you.
Talia.
To answer this question, I really would like to state that it is not my job to decide what programs of students should be cut. My job is to increase the quality of education that students get here at UC Berkeley. And the only way to do that is to mobilize the students as a student union against the administration when they try to cut back student programs. If the administration can find a way to cut down whatever spending they have, that's fine. But I'm here to protect student programs and mobilizing students and administrators to demand that more money be spent on education from the state. That way we won't have to cut any more programs or any more academic classes to make up for these budget cuts. So in general, I want to have our education worthwhile. We're paying $30,000 to come here or something around that amount of money, and we deserve the best. Berkeley promised us the best, and I'm going to stand for that. Thank you.
Please hold your applause until all of the speakers have. John, you're up.
Again, as has been said, UC Berkeley is facing a $70 million shortfall. The problem with the situation right now is that they have targeted the PE department, they have targeted the IS department, they have targeted the East Asian Languages department. The problem with all these changes so far is that there is a lack of communication. Because these decisions were made without student input. These decisions were made with literally the heads of the academic committees, and not even the committees themselves. But these decisions